close your eyes for a moment. Imagine holding a simple copper coin in your hand, a small 1-cent piece that most people ignore every day. It looks ordinary, worn old, maybe even forgotten in a drawer or jar. But what if that same coin is actually worth thousands or even millions of dollars? Welcome to today's video, where we uncover 3 of the rarest Lincoln Wheat Pennies ever known in the United States of America. These copper coins, especially in brilliant and high-grade condition, are turning everyday pocket change into life-changing discoveries. Some of these pennies were minted over a century ago, yet they still exist today, hidden in collections, old piggy banks, and sometimes even in circulation. So before you spend your next penny, you might want to take a closer look. Let's begin the countdown of these incredible rare coins that could change everything you think you know about 1-cent currency. Let's get started. Ultra rare coin number 1. The 1946 penny belongs to the iconic Lincoln Wheat Cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln. On the obverse, you see Lincoln's profile, dignified and calm, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, 2 elegant wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent, symbolizing prosperity and unity in a nation rebuilding after war. Coins from 1946 with no mint mark were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which produced over 1 billion pennies that year. Because of this high mintage, most 1946 pennies are not rare in the traditional sense. However, condition is everything in coin collecting, and a well-preserved example in fine or better condition can still attract collectors' attention. In fine condition, a 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny typically shows moderate wear, with Lincoln's hair details partially visible and the wheat stalks still clear. Coins in this grade often sell for around 10 cents to $1, depending on market demand. But as you move into higher grades like extremely fine or uncirculated, the value can rise significantly, sometimes reaching $5, $10, or even more for exceptional pieces. Now here's where things get interesting. While most 1946 pennies are common, certain rare errors or varieties can dramatically increase their value. Collectors constantly search for double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet errors. These rare mistakes can turn an ordinary penny into a highly desirable collectible worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Imagine discovering a 1946 penny with a striking mint error. Suddenly, that small copper coin could become the centerpiece of a collection. These rare finds are what fuel the excitement of coin hunting, transforming everyday pocket change into hidden treasure. It's this possibility that keeps collectors searching through jars, drawers, and old collections. The metal composition of the 1946 penny also adds historical significance. Unlike the steel pennies of 1943, which were made during wartime shortages, the 1946 coin returned to a bronze alloy of 95% copper. This shift marked the return of normalcy in American industry and coin production after the war. The design of the coin reflects both artistry and symbolism. Lincoln's portrait represents leadership and unity, while the wheat ears symbolize agricultural strength and economic recovery. Together, they tell a story of resilience, making the 1946 penny more than just currency. It's a piece of storytelling in metal. Collectors often grade coins professionally to determine their true value. A 1946 penny graded by services like PCGS or NGC in mint state condition can command higher prices, especially if it has original red luster. These red coins are far more valuable than their brown or circulated counterparts. Another factor influencing value is eye appeal. Even within the same grade, a coin with better color, fewer marks, and stronger strike detail can sell for a premium. This is why experienced collectors carefully examine every detail before buying or selling. The history behind the 1946 penny connects it to a world rebuilding after devastation. Factories that once produced wartime materials were now focused on consumer goods, and the economy was beginning to boom. This coin circulated during a time of optimism and transformation in American society. While stories of pennies worth millions often circulate online, they usually involve extremely rare coins, such as unique mint errors or one-of-a-kind specimens. A standard 1946 penny, even in excellent condition, is unlikely to reach such extreme values. However, its historical and collectible value still makes it worth keeping. If you happen to own a roll or jar of old pennies, it's always worth taking a closer look. You might not find $1 million coin, but you could discover something valuable or historically meaningful. And sometimes, the thrill of the search is just as rewarding as the find itself. For collectors, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny represents accessibility. It's a coin that beginners can afford while still offering opportunities for discovery and learning. It bridges the gap between everyday currency and serious numismatics. So next time you come across a 1946 penny, don't dismiss it as just loose change. Hold it, examine it, and imagine the journey it has taken over decades from post-war America to your hands today. In that small copper coin lies a story of history, craftsmanship, and the enduring fascination of coin collecting. Next up, ultra-rare coin number 2. The 1953 D penny carries the D mint mark, which represents the Denver Mint. This facility played a major role in producing billions of coins for circulation across America during the mid-20th century. The coin itself was struck in 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that classic reddish-brown or bright red appearance when well preserved. Even though it was mass-produced, collectors still search for high-grade examples due to their condition, color, and eye appeal. When talking about value, it is very important to stay realistic. The 1953 D Lincoln Wheat Penny is not $1 million coin under normal conditions. Most circulated examples are worth only a few cents to a few dollars. However, in uncirculated condition, especially those with strong red luster and no marks, it could be worth significantly more, sometimes ranging from $5 to $50 or even higher, depending on grading quality and demand. One of the most important factors affecting the value of this coin is its condition. Coin grading plays a huge role in determining price. A heavily worn penny may only be worth face value, but a mint state, MS65 or higher, example with full red color can become highly desirable. Professional grading services often certify these coins, and graded specimens can sell for higher prices at auctions and collector markets. The design of the Lincoln Wheat Penny is iconic. On the front, it features President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the back, it displays 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. This wheat reverse design is what gives the series its popular nickname, the Wheat Penny. The 1953 D coin was minted during a post-World War II era when the United States economy was growing rapidly. Millions of pennies were needed for everyday commerce, and the Denver Mint produced huge quantities. Because of this high mintage, the coin is considered common in circulated condition, but scarcity increases significantly when you move into high-grade, uncirculated examples. Collectors often look for specific unique features in a 1953 D penny. These include strong strike details, original red copper luster, minimal bag marks, and sharp wheat stock definition on the reverse side. Coins that retain their original mint brilliance are especially attractive in the collector market and can command premium prices compared to dull or toned examples. It is also important to understand that myths often circulate online about rare pennies being worth thousands or even millions of dollars. While rare pennies do exist in the U.S. coin market, the 1953 D Wheat Penny is not one of those ultra-rare error coins. However, certain exceptional mint state specimens or error varieties could bring higher prices, but still far from millions in realistic numismatic markets. Error coins are where excitement sometimes enters the story. If a 1953 D penny were discovered with a rare minting error, such as double die features, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet issues, it could increase its value significantly. However, confirmed valuable errors from this year are extremely rare, and most coins are standard production strikes. From a historical perspective, the Lincoln Wheat Penny series is very important in American coinage. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than symbolic figures. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the design remained in circulation for nearly 50 years before being replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial Reverse. Collectors around the world, including those in the United States, United Kingdom, and Asia, actively search for wheat pennies. The 1953 D version is often included in beginner coin collections because it is affordable and widely available. However, advanced collectors still seek top-grade specimens to complete full date-and-mint sets in high condition. The coin's market value today depends heavily on demand, certification, and eye appeal. While common circulated examples may trade for less than $1, a high-grade MS-67 red example could reach $20, $50, or occasionally more at auction, depending on buyer interest. The coin market is always changing based on collector trends and availability. One of the most fascinating aspects of coin collecting is preservation. Coins like the 1953 D wheat penny must be stored carefully to maintain their value. Exposure to air, oils from hands, and improper storage can reduce their grade over time. That is why professional collectors use protective holders and grading slabs to preserve condition. Even though this coin is not a rare millionaire-dollar piece, it still holds strong educational and historical value. It represents a period of American industrial growth and everyday currency usage in the 1950s. For many collectors, owning a clean, red, uncirculated example is more about history and preservation than financial investment. In conclusion, the 1953 D Lincoln Wheat Penny is a classic and widely collected coin that remains popular among beginners and experts alike. While it is not worth thousands or millions in normal conditions, its value can still be interesting in top uncirculated grades. Its history, design, and connection to Abraham Lincoln make it a timeless piece of American numismatic heritage that continues to attract collectors worldwide. Next up, ultra-rare coin number 3. The 1955 D Lincoln Wheat Penny was produced by the United States Mint during a time when America was transitioning economically and technologically after World War II. This coin belongs to the famous wheat cent series that ran from 1909 to 1958, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and wheat stalks on the reverse. The Denver Mint struck millions of these coins, meaning they were part of everyday circulation and not originally intended to be rare or highly valuable. Now, let's talk about the design features. On the front side, you see President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, which has remained iconic for over a century. The inscriptions include, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1955. On the reverse side, the two wheat ears symbolize agricultural strength and national prosperity, along with the words 1 cent and United States of America. The D mint mark under the date shows it was minted in Denver, not Philadelphia or San Francisco. When it comes to condition, coin grading plays a huge role in determining value. A 1955 D penny in average circulated condition, meaning it has been used in pockets, wallets, and change jars, typically holds only a modest value, often just a few cents to a couple of dollars. Even in very fine or extremely fine condition, the value usually remains under $5 to $10 depending on market demand. However, there's a major misunderstanding in the online world. Many people confuse the 1955 D wheat penny with the famous 1955 double die obverse penny, which is a completely different coin and extremely rare. That error coin, which was minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, is the one that can be worth thousands of dollars. The 1955 D Denver version, however, is not the rare error coin, and its value does not reach those extreme levels. So what makes the 1955 D penny interesting for collectors? The answer lies in its historical context and preservation. While it is not rare in mintage numbers, finding one in uncirculated or mint state condition is less common today. Coins that were never used in circulation, showing full original red copper luster, can bring higher collector premiums, sometimes ranging from $20 to $100 or slightly more, depending on grade. Let's also understand the production scale. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these pennies in 1955, making it a very high mintage coin. Because of this large supply, the coin was heavily circulated throughout the United States, meaning most surviving examples show wear, scratches, or discoloration. This is one of the main reasons why it does not reach extremely high market values. From a collector's perspective, condition grading categories such as good, fine, extremely fine, about uncirculated, and mint state all affect pricing. A heavily worn 1955 D penny might not be worth more than face value, while a sharp, well-preserved example with strong details can attract collectors willing to pay a small premium. But again, it is important to remain realistic about pricing expectations. Now let's talk about the metal composition. The 1955 D Lincoln Wheat Penny is made primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This gives it a distinctive reddish-brown appearance when new. Over time, exposure to air and handling causes oxidation, turning many coins brown or dark. Coins that maintain their original red color are usually more desirable in the collector market. Another important aspect is authentication and grading services. Professional coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins based on condition and authenticity. A certified, high-grade 1955 D penny may receive a numeric grade, which can slightly increase buyer confidence and resale value. However, even certified examples of this coin still remain relatively affordable compared to true rare U.S. coin errors. Let's address the big question many viewers search for. Is the 1955 D penny worth thousands or millions of dollars? The honest answer is no. In normal condition, it is not a million-dollar coin. Only specific rare varieties and minting errors from other versions of the 1955 penny reach extremely high values. The Denver D version remains a common collectible coin. Still, the coin holds strong educational and historical value. It represents post-war America, industrial growth, and the everyday currency system of the mid-20th century. Many collectors enjoy building complete wheat penny sets from 1909 to 1958, and the 1955 D plays an important role in completing that collection. In today's coin market, demand for Lincoln Wheat Pennies remains steady, especially among beginner collectors and hobbyists. Online marketplaces and coin shows frequently list 1955 D pennies in bulk or individual sales, usually priced very affordably. This makes it a great entry-level coin for those starting a numismatic collection. If you ever find a 1955 D penny in your pocket change, it is still worth saving, especially if it appears in good condition or better. While it may not make you rich, it is still a piece of American history that has survived for over 70 years. Keeping coins like this can help build a meaningful and educational collection over time. In conclusion, the 1955 D Lincoln Wheat Penny is a fascinating but commonly circulated coin with modest market value. Its true importance lies not in extreme pricing myths, but in its historical significance and role in American currency history. Always remember to verify rare coin claims carefully and appreciate coins for both their collectible and historical value rather than unrealistic price expectations. Thanks for watching.